Hello everyone, this video is about the week 1 things to do. I thought I'd give you a little video overview to provide a few more details than what are listed on the Canvas page. So I've got this Canvas page open, and so what I'm asking you to do is watch this overview video that you've got going on right now. And the next step is, remember in class we talked about making work logs so that we could track our progress and make sure that we're engaging with learning skills in generative AI all along as we go through the semester. So read this Canvas page about work logs and their motivation and kind of tips on how to make those work. Remember, we're going to run those through an Excel worksheet, and there's 3 different tabs on the work log that I'm going to put into the box folders, and this Canvas posting tells you a little bit about that. So I want to make clear, you don't have to log everything that you do. Of course, it makes sense that you would only log the stuff that you want me to see. So if you're doing things that you'd rather keep private, if there's like some kind of question you have about health-related things, I wouldn't put that into the work log. All right, so only keep things that are relevant for this course. And in this course, you're working on your AI skills. So you don't need to log just every little interaction that you do with large language models, just the ones that are relevant for this class. And make sure you're comfortable with sharing. That's an important point. Okay. So as I played around with this, I noticed, oh man, it's kind of a pain to post things, and it's tedious, and it's no fun to come up with all the columns. And so to me, that's usually a red flag. Hey, I wonder if I could get a generative AI like ChatGPT to help me automatically capture the data that I'm trying to do. So I came up with a way of a prompt that you can use to automatically create entries into a work log. All right, so read that posting. I've got the prompt put in there, and I've got a video that shows you how to use it. Okay, from there, you now have the setup, and you should have received a link to a box folder. You're ready to go. So what I want to do this week is just establish the workflow. All right, so you've created a ChatGPT account. Hopefully you already had one. Make up a chat. All right, it's just a log session. I realize on the free version of ChatGPT, it doesn't necessarily keep chat logs. All right, I'm going to show you my paid version in a video, later on. And you'll see it does have chat logs that make this a little bit easier. So when we go to the paid version of ChatGPT, this will be a little bit easier to do. And I think on Copilot, it does keep a record of work logs, of chats. And I'm not sure though. From my point of view, it does. I'm not sure what a student account looks like. Okay, so record at least one from ChatGPT, and then choose either Copilot or Chat Gemini to come up with a chat for one of those 2 large language models. All right, so remember, our goal here is to look at the workflow. It doesn't have to be a fancy, long interactive chat, just something to make sure that we know how this process for logging things would work out. Okay, so the next thing, remember in class, I talked about Data Camp. All right, and so I set up a classroom in Data Camp, and the whole idea here is that Data Camp is normally something you'd have to pay a subscription for, but through a university class, you can have access to Data Camp training videos. All right, so I'm not sure how good these are. I've watched a few of them, and it seems like it's a reasonably good introduction to artificial intelligence and how to use artificial intelligence. I've seen some more advanced topics that show up in Data Camp, and my idea was, hey, that'd be great if we could leverage that and take advantage of, if you are interested in, for example, writing an API that interacts with a large language model. I think Data Camp has some training that would help you with that. So the whole point is to log in. I've made an assignment so you can see something and get started. I think it's got some great background information that if you're a beginner, it's a great place to start and start working your way through. So what I'd like everybody to do is to log into Data Camp. You might need to create an account. Find the first chapter in the assignments that's called What is Artificial Intelligence? It's just a chapter. If you pull this up, I think I've got it right here. Yeah, if you pull this up, here's this chapter, you can start the chapter. What is artificial intelligence? It's got some things that you can work through. If you notice here, it's saying it takes 2 hours to complete. I don't want you to spend 2 hours on it. I want you to spend the time that you find useful, and we can work our way through this over the course of the next 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so spend some time on this. Hopefully you'll find it interesting and it'll go by fast. You might even, if you feel like you already know a lot of these things, you could zip through some of that, but get an idea of what Data Camp is like, and we can talk about that in class. All right, so I think I made some other here's the groups. Let's see. If you look at assignments here, introduce some other things that are in Data Camp. You don't have to look at these yet, but I feel like this would give you a learning path that you can go through, and if you find some of this useful, then go through and watch it and record it into your log. I've got a section for that in the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so there's Data Camp. All right, so once you've done that, you've done everything I want to do to set up the workflow for this course. You'll be done with week 1. Come to class on Wednesday. We can talk about how this experience has worked out for you, and then we can go on to the next steps and use this process to document what we do as we work through this course.